Good evening. I will be sharing with you the shadow of denial. My reading comes from Luke 22, 54 through 62. And it reads, "Then they took him and led him and brought him into the high priest's house. And Peter followed afar off. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall and sat down together, Peter sat down among them. But a certain maid beheld him and earnestly looked upon him and said, 'This man was also with him.' And he denied him, saying, 'Woman, I know him not.' And after a little while, another saw him and said, 'Thou art also of them.' And Peter said, 'Man, I am not.' And after the space of about an hour, another confidently affirmed, saying, 'In truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean.' And Peter said, 'Man, I know not what thou sayest.' And immediately, while he yet spoke, the cock crowed. And the Lord turned and looked upon Peter. And Peter remembered the word of the Lord, and how he said unto him, 'Before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.' And Peter went out and wept bitterly." May God add a blessing to the reading of his word. Now, when we hear this account, many of us automatically want to condemn Peter for his actions. We might think, if I were in Peter's place, I would not have denied Jesus. I would be proud to stand up for him. Yet many of us would allow fear and self-preservation to cause us to have the same reaction as Peter, the truth be known. Let's step into Peter's shoes for just a moment. He must have been going through an agonizing internal tug of war. He must have thought, if they dare arrest Jesus, the one who walked on water, healed the sick, freed those tormented by demons, brought sight to the blind, and raised the dead, surely they will arrest me if I admit to being one of his disciples. What will become of my wife and my family if they arrest me too? I can only imagine that Peter was thinking, this is Jesus, the promised Messiah, the one God sent to us to set us free from our captivity. Yet, I have witnessed him being betrayed and drug off like a common criminal. Peter must have felt a full range of human emotions. His hopes were being dashed as he watched the Lord's accusers seemingly having the upper hand. Amen. His defense mechanism of self-preservation must have kicked in. And before you know it, he found himself denying God's Messiah, just as the Lord told him that he would. But before we make a harsh judgment on Peter, let us remember the Bible account shows us that Peter was a disciple that either out of his love for Jesus or curiosity followed as they took Jesus away. He was the first disciple to call Jesus the Son of the living God. He had boldness to walk on the water, and he took up a sword to defend Jesus in the garden. But Peter was no different than we are today. We too at times see life circumstances through human eyes. And at the time, Peter did not fully comprehend what was truly going on. He didn't understand what he was witnessing. He did not fully comprehend the ultimate reason Jesus came to earth, that the death, burial, and resurrection of God's redemptive plan for man. Amen.